All right, I want to say straight off the top that you can't squat because you sit too much. Sitting is the new smoking. Sitting is the biggest problem you have when it comes to performance in the gym. We sit in cars, we sit at work a lot, we sit at home a lot, we sit on the toilet. Basically, we are in this position basically for the majority of the day. And what is this position? I call it the 90-degree death. I call it that because your hips are 90 degrees, your knees are 90 degrees, your ankles are 90 degrees, and a lot of the times your elbows are also 90 degrees because you're doing something on the computer. I call it a 90-degree death because people have said it in the past that, sitting is the new smoking. It is that bad for you. Aside from, squatting in the gym, it's also really bad for your bowels. When you defecate in the toilet, you don't empty all of your bowels basically properly. It's really bad for your back. The list goes on. But for us who are interested in performing in the gym, sitting is particularly bad because we can't get into these athletic positions that we need to perform. And so I want to make this video to kind of explain to you guys why sitting is really, really bad. First of all, when you sit, you're fully relaxed. I sit like this. This is how I sit. And I'm sure most of you guys sit like this. Some of you guys might be really, really good and you sit like this. Really kind of anteriorly tilt your pelvis like this. So I sit like this, you sit like this. The only difference there is that you are using your psoas and I'm not. I'm basically just completely relaxed. So you, the psoas user, will probably have an easier time to squat than me because your psoas is somewhat active and somewhat strong. For me, the really bad sitter, I'm screwed. My glutes are off, my adductors are off, my hamstrings are off, my psoas is off, not to mention all the other muscles around the hip girdle, abs and whatever else. So, the best thing you can do is try to kind of reverse some of these habits that you kind of have in your life. Get a standing desk, move around a little bit more, every hour. I think that the recommendation is you kind of get off your chair, walk around a little bit, stretch out. That's all going to help, but what's going to help you kind of today and tomorrow in the gym? For me, when I come in here, for whatever reason, I can't squat. I feel really bad. I can't position myself. In the past, I've just kind of been a stubborn head and just continued and just loaded the bar, and that's it. But now I've kind of realized that positioning is everything when it comes to weightlifting. We are basically mechanical levers trying to lift some weight. And so if you have a longer moment arm, you're screwed. Even if it's a little bit more a longer moment arm, you're basically screwed. So I think it's worth your while, if you're interested about performance in the gym, to kind of think about some of these things. When I come into the gym, I've said this in the past, is all I'm thinking is I want to reverse sitting, basically. The muscles that I need to get long are the hamstring, glutes, number one, because if you think about it, what I'm trying to do is hip flex. I'm trying to do this. And so everything on the other side of the joint, all of this stuff gets tight from sitting. My knee's like 90 degrees, so the hamstring is really short. The glutes are completely relaxed. I'm like fully, posteriorly tilted. And then I come in the gym and I'm expected for them to just let go and allow me to get into hip flexion. You're gonna have a hard time. So what I do when I come into the gym on really bad days is I basically just grab the bar and I just deadlift. Now, some days I deadlift 3 days, 4 days in a row because I'm just having a bad week. Deadlifting for me gets me in a better squat position. I'm not deadlifting 50, 60, 70, 80% of my max at all. I'm basically just doing the barbell, maybe up to 60 kilos, and that's it. And I do sets of 10. I really try and stretch out, calm, slow lifting, really feel the muscles work. I'm not trying to rip it off the floor or anything like that, because when you're ripping off the floor, you're basically jumping through ranges of motion from the initial force you've created. I'm trying to slowly get it off the ground and just feel every bit of that hip extension. That really, really works for me. If you've got a 45-degree back extension machine, it's called back extension. It should really be called hip extension if you're doing it correctly. You're not supposed to be rounding at the spine like this. You're not extending your back, you're extending your hip. So anyway, so just do that. What else you can do? If you've got a glute ham raise, do that thing. If you can do the Nordic hamstring curl, which is very advanced, you can do that. Anything just to fire up the posterior chain and you'll feel better. Another thing that I want to mention in this video is that I'm going to put some photos up of third world countries, people from third world countries who squat effortlessly ass to grass, despite not having the most optimal leverages and proportions. I hear it all the time. I will never be able to squat ass to grass because my femurs are too long. Check this guy out. How long are his femurs, man? His femurs are basically at his shoulder. Those are really, really long femurs. You can squat ass to grass. You just need to release the muscles which are stopping you from getting there. You are sitting too much, and this dude ain't sitting at all. He's always squatting to the ground for rest. I can put up some more photos up for you. I'm sure you can go on Google and find them yourself. But you guys might have some freakish hip anatomy and just have like hip impingement issues. But I'm hearing it too much, man. Everyone seems to have hip impingement before they even address their hip mobility. Release the quads, release the hamstrings, get the psoas stronger, and then come and talk to me. This is just my little advice. When you come to the gym, you're feeling really stiff, fire up the glutes and hamstrings, fire up the psoas. I've showed you psoas in the past. You can do psoas even when you're sitting. Just do this. Do this for 50 reps. Try it. As I said, deadlifts, all the other machines that I mentioned, this little hip flexor thing, before you even touch a barbell. Do that, do some body weight, ATG, squats, spend some time in the hole, and hopefully that kind of starts the ball rolling in the right direction. Sitting is our enemy. Sitting is our number one enemy. Try and limit it, and you will see better performance in the gym. Catch you guys. Thank you.